Hello and good morning everyone, welcome back to day 3 of our English unit on the Diary of a Wombat. Now before I get into this and before I say anything, I want to see how much you remember from yesterday and the day before. Okay, so have a go at these sentences and I'd like you to try and see if you can change the sentences into the past progressive verb form. Okay, now remember that suffix that we need to add onto a verb. Anyway, give it a go and we'll get into it. Cool, well done on that one. Now what I'd like to do is have a look at this sheet and tick or cross your answer to see if you managed to get the past progressive tense. Don't worry if not, we're still learning and picking it up as we go. Alright, so we're just going to go through one sentence now just to make sure that we all know exactly what we're doing. So for example, I'm going to write she slept all morning. So she slept all morning. Now I'm going to put a full stop there to end my sentence. So she slept all morning. Now the first thing you're going to have to do to change this into the past progressive tense, because at the moment it's in the simple past tense. So what we need to do, we need to identify a certain word. Now tell your computer screen, shout at your computer screen what we are looking for first to turn it into the past progressive. What's that word? It's called a verb. Okay, so we need to look for the verb. So a verb is a doing word, something you do. She, you can't really do she. Can you sleep? You can sleep. So I'm guessing that is my verb. Well, not guessing, I know that that's my verb because I know that you can sleep, you can lie down and you can physically sleep. So we know that that is a verb. Alright, so we know that this is the verb and we've now got to add a suffix on. What is that suffix called? Ing. Okay, so we need to change our verb, add an ing to make it into the past progressive tense. So we can change our sentence to she. Now if I change slept to sleeping, which is right, she's sleeping all morning, it doesn't make sense. So there's another word that we're going to have to add in there as well. What word or where would that word go? So she slept all morning would change to she sleeping all morning. So let's write that. Sleeping all. Okay, so we've added the ing to our verb, brilliant, but it's not quite done. She's sleeping all morning. She was sleeping all morning, okay? So we can edit that in. She was sleeping all morning. So we've changed from the simple past tense into the past progressive tense, adding our ing to our verb. Alright, I'm now going to write a different sentence and I want you to have a think while I'm writing it whether the sentence I'm writing is in the simple past tense or the past progressive tense. Okay, so I'm going to write two kangaroos were kicking the table. Cool. What have I missed from that sentence? Full stop. Cool. Alright, so is that in the simple past tense or the past progressive tense? Okay, so remember what we've said about the past progressive tense. What are you looking out for? What word are you looking out for? What suffix on a word are you looking out for? Cool. So this is the past progressive tense. We can tell because our verb kick, okay, you can kick someone. We've added the ing, kicking. Alright, now the reason we use the past progressive tense is to show that something else is happening at the same time. Something is continuing while another event is taking place. So for example, we could take this full stop out. Two kangaroos were kicking the table while, let's add while to connect it, while the family was eating. Full stop. Alright. While the animal was eating. So, this suggests that the kangaroos came to the picnic while the family was eating and they started kicking the tables then. So it shows two events taking place at the same time in the past. Here is a diary entry written by the family. It records a truly disastrous day. Now this is called The Terrible Trouble. Please read along and follow along with me. Morning. I pulled back the bed covers and saw an old grey koala bear was climbing the curtains. He looked at me and sneezed. I shouted for help, but everyone was dancing in the kitchen listening to the radio. Afternoon. A kangaroo jumped onto the table while we were eating lunch. He kicked and punched when Dad was dragging him outside. Unfortunately, Dad left the back door open and the Wombat walked in and was looking for carrots. Evening. We watched TV. A grumpy echidna strolled into the lounge and rolled into a ball. Mum jumped and Dad offered to roll it into the kitchen. Soon after we heard Wombat was banging around in the cupboards looking for carrots. So that was a diary entry written by the family. Could you spot the different past progressive forms? Brilliant. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to write a similar diary entry to this one, but we're going to be using our own template like this. Or you can write it on paper. This one doesn't really give you too much space. But using this as an example, you're going to begin to write a diary entry. Now tomorrow we're going to write our final diary entry about our wooden animal using our plan from last Friday. Alright, but first, in this one, what I would like you to include is you're writing in the first person. Okay? You're writing in the first person. Alright? You want the past tense. Okay? This is a diary, okay? It's already happened, okay? So you need the past tense. I want you to put in the past progressive. Okay, so the past progressive tense. You need, obviously, you could probably guess what I'm going to write here. Capital letters and full stops. Okay, so give it a go. Try and write your own diary entry from the point of view of the family or from the point of view of you sitting in your own room. And think about all the different animals that could cause chaos throughout your daily routine. Alright, give that a go and we'll be back tomorrow to write our final diary.